Hi Cancer, welcome to Sophquest. My name is Spence. Welcome back if you're a subscriber, and welcome in if you're new to the channel. Hello, my name is Spence. Did I say that? I think I did. Today we're going to be using two decks with the Gaia Oracle. I'm going to pull one for you now after I shuffle. And then I'm also going to use the Art of Love Tarot. Both of these decks are the artwork of Tony Carmine Salerno, and the book for this deck is written by Denise Jarvie, and they're both beautiful decks. And I thought, very apropos right now, it is the last week of Leo season, which is the 5th house of romance, and we have Venus moving into Libra this week, and that is very much about bringing some love into partnerships. We also have Mercury right now in Virgo, which is talking about our daily life, talking about relationships, and discussing things, and I think also just getting ready to move into that Virgo energy coming soon, and what we're changing in our daily lives, right? All right, so that full moon that I've been talking about for the last few weeks, the second full moon in Aquarius at the anaretic degree of 29 degrees, which finishes out the entire span of that lunation, the whole month and the whole season of Leo, is coming to fruition at the end of the week on Sunday. That is August 22nd. You might want to circle that date. It's a big full moon. It can be a final decision on something, especially because Uranus is the planet of pretty radical change. So you might really be changing something. And right now, Cancer, let's talk about love and pull a card for you, all right? Let's see what's coming through for you, Cancer. Cancer, for the week of the 16th of August through the 22nd. Nope, that was two. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Liberation, Cancer. That's a beautiful word. I just love that. Liberation. Now that's a Uranian word. That's what Uranus does, doesn't it? The planet of Aquarius. The axis of Leo. And every time we're in a particular season, we're not just talking about the season we're sitting in, Leo season. We're talking about its axis as well, because we've got the new moon in the sign that we're in, but then we also have the full moon in the opposite sign. So the lunations of both matter. And the fact that we've had two full moons this season of Leo is auspicious for change, because Uranus is about change, transformation, the future, right? Liberation. On the card it says breaking free from a negative attachment. Okay, so if that's what these two full moons have been about for you right now, Cancer, then it's a healthy release of something that was negative, okay? A negative attachment. Could be to things, could be to people, a person, one person in particular, a negative job, home, environment, anything whatsoever that just hasn't been healthy for you in one way or another. Healthy in your mind, body, or spirit. So a liberation from that, I think, is going to be coming for you, Cancer. Now, right now, I'm shuffling the Art of Love Tarot, and while I lay them out for you, why don't you settle in with me? Let's do what we do. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Set your feet. Get grounded. Let's lower the cortisol. Oxygenate the brain. Bring some serotonin and dopamine to the party in there. And relax, right? Take some time for you. Well, I already have 2 major arcana on the board. Let's see what we have here. 3. It's a deep time for you. Your major arcana card. No, actually, that's not yours. I consider the moon both a Cancerian and a Pisces card. But because it's here for you, the moon card, which is a major arcana, I consider it one of your cards. Wow. Okay, yes, this is something that was emotional for you, that you felt sorrow over, and you are releasing that. I think you're allowing for the healing and release of it. It's kind of like let bygones be bygones. That's what I heard. And by the way, that is not one of my phrases. I don't say that very often. I mean, I don't know that I've said that 3 times in my whole life. So I think that was for you. If that's something you say, let bygones be bygones, that's what I just heard. All right, we're going to go through this 9-card spread horizontally, vertically, and big picture. We're going to talk about the bottom of the deck, and I'm going to read this card for you. So let's start with liberation for you today, Cancer. Liberation. from the Gaia Oracle Guidebook. I love this artwork. It's all Tony Carmine Salerno, and I love it. I've had these decks for years. All right, liberation. Cancer, it says, breaking free from a negative attachment. Whether you realize it or not, you've become too emotionally attached or dependent on someone or something. Or you've allowed or inadvertently caused someone to get too emotionally attached to you. What at first seemed like a healthy friendship or interest now seems to be taking over your life or is creating too much codependence. A situation that initially seemed like a positive has now revealed its negative side. This is in effect like a form of addiction. You're advised to examine this issue and then create some space between you. For your sake and the sake of others, you must do whatever it takes to break free from the negative emotional attachment. Initially, this may cause some resentment or even a sense of panic, but the end result will be worth it. When you manage to emotionally detach yourself from this issue, or this thing or person, then you've learned a valuable lesson that will serve you well in the future. Here's an affirmation for you for this week, Cancer. I release myself from all negative attachment. I trust that this is for my highest good. I trust that this is for the highest good of all. I help others most by not allowing myself or them to be codependent. I look at every situation in a balanced way. Okay, now first and foremost, what I want to say, Cancer, is we all do this. Every single one of us on the planet. So don't feel bad. Don't feel badly about that. Okay? We all get attached, don't we? I mean, when you put any time whatsoever or any effort into anything, whether it's something you do, something you like, or someone that you love, you put effort into it, right? You do. An investment. And when you're invested in something, it's kind of hard to detach from it when it turns into something that is hurting us, right? So the first thing that we do kind of learn as we get better and better at evolving ourselves, empowering ourselves, and learning how to really move forward when it comes to personal growth, we do need to learn how to do this, how to detach from unhealthy things for us and attach to things that are more healthy for us, right? But in a healthy way. So going from codependence to interdependence. This can be done in a good relationship. If this is about a relationship for you, then it is most certainly something that you can do and change from codependence into interdependence, right? When we depend on someone and they depend on us, it's because we've made some type of commitment. So whether it's family, friendship, or romance, we have an investment, right? Like I said. So depending on each other is never a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing when it becomes codependent. I can't be happy unless you're happy. I'm not all right unless you're all right. It become overly attached to the outcome of what someone else is doing. Or if we're codependent on something, then we're over attached to the outcome of that thing becoming whatever you need it to be for you, right? So it's really about the outcomes, and instead, it calls for liberation. It calls for you to free yourself from the outcome and just let things be the way that they are right now, accept them as they are, accept whatever the negativity is, and say, okay, here's the truth. This thing or this person or this relationship has become a bit negative for me, or I for them. And so if you tell yourself the truth, then you're not in denial. That's step one. Then once you've been able to do that, then you can look for healthy resolution as to how to move it forward in a healthier way so that instead of codependence on that thing or that person, we can form interdependent. I'm independent, you're independent. Together, we can be interdependent. We can count on each other, but we don't need to fall apart if something's going on in the other person's life. Or if there's a disagreement and you feel like you're falling apart because the other person has a different opinion, right? We have to be allowed to be liberated within ourselves. And if we're attached to things, then we have to allow ourselves to liberate from things that don't really add, right, to us living a healthy, holistic life of mind, body, spirit, wellness. So that's what I have to say about that. The reason I'm saying that all of this is on the bottom of the deck today, I'm looking at the Three of Cups. So I think that whatever this is, you are going to get back to love, acceptance, and joy. If this is a relationship, this is someone you can get along with. Under that, the bottom of the deck, remember, is our internal subconscious stuff going on. Okay, so under this Three of Cups, which can be, for me, can be friendship. It says joy on this card. It can be friendship, joy, enjoyment of things, of people, and of life, get-togethers. It's when we're comfortable with people, okay? So I think if it's a relationship, you have been able to get along in the past. And then with the Eight of Stars in this deck, which is the Eight of Wands, this is surge. It says surge on the card, but it's a surge of energy. It's momentum. It's movement forward. So you can move forward in the relationship and get back to a joy because there's dedication here. The Three of Stars. You're wanting to create the space for more joy and dedication in the relationship, but not where an attachment where it becomes, I define my happiness by what you do. That's when it goes wrong. Okay? That's how codependence can set in. When I define my well-being by what you're doing, that's a bit codependent. So everybody does this. We all can fall into it. Don't feel bad about it. But you're very invested in, I mean, just the three words, joy, surge, dedication on these cards. So you really do want this to improve. I think, you know, internally, subconsciously, you care very much for improvement. That's what I'm saying. All right. First then, we have the, this is the Hermit card, number 9. And in this deck, it's called the Retreat for Contemplation. That's what the Hermit does. So it's saying it's okay to take time during this full moon to look at the illusions of what the relationship had become, or the attachment, what it had become, that was illusory. It wasn't quite grounded, right? It wasn't grounded. It didn't help either one of you, or it didn't help you in your life to be grounded and to have alignment, okay? But if you're taking some time, Hermit, Moon, to really look inside at your emotions, then you're going to be able to move forward with more positivity and a deeper understanding of yourself and what you need. So you can detach from someone if they're going through stuff. You can be there for them. You just can't fall apart in your own life and in your own well-being because, you know, you are separate from that person, right? So keeping healthy detachment is a skill set that we all have to learn, every one of us. And I think you're doing that. With the Hermit and the Moon, those are major arcana. This is a big lesson right now for you during this season, Leo season, about the ego construct and how we construct our ego, superego, id, and our understanding of that with the collective, where you fit in the collective. So if you're talking about a family, okay, and you're having an issue in a relationship with family, you still want to bring the joy back. You're dedicated for this to move forward in a good and positive way, right? So you're going to be able to move it forward, okay? Then we have sorrow. So yeah, it has caused pain in the past. Because of this, 10 of stars or 10 of wands in most decks is burdensome. It's a hard and heavy load to carry. In this deck, it's called hoarding. So when we're hoarding energy, when we're hanging on to things that aren't ours, it might not have belonged to you, right? It's when we borrow the trouble of others. And this is saying, don't borrow trouble, okay? If you're trying to help someone that won't be helped, then you just have to accept the truth of that, right? And for instance. Or if maybe someone's trying to help you, but they really can't, then it's okay to say, well, right now this is on me, but I'll get through it. So I think honesty is really going to help. But first you got to tell yourself the truth, that this has been a sorrow for you. And it's been hard. You've been hoarding on to it, holding on to it for a long time, and it's been difficult to bear, but you have learned. This is the Hierophant. In this deck, it's called the Teacher, and it brings clarity. This is wisdom. You have learned from this. You've learned how you allow the dynamics in the relationship with whomever this is about, how you allow those dynamics to affect you. Because so far, right now, specifically in Leo season, it's been too much. And you cannot hold on to it for too long, because it's weighing you down. It's weighing you down. It's too much. And this is saying free yourself from it. Liberation. Free yourself from the worry. Free yourself from the responsibility. Free yourself from the outcome. The expectations. Right? We all fall into that. Every one of us. We do. We fall into that. It's easy to fall into having specific expectations of an outcome. And it really just stresses you out. This is a card that says stressed out, and this is the center of your reading today. So Cancer, it's stressing you out because it's caused you sorrow, but it's taught you well. Eventually, you'll be able to say to this person, thank you, because you really helped me realize that I had too many expectations, or that I was too worried about the outcomes, when really I just need to let this divine timing play out. It's a time of great change. These 2 full moons in Aquarius have shown us that. But this situation's moving forward here. And then on the bottom we've got the 10 of Hearts, culmination. This is usually the happily ever after card, the happy family card. It's fulfillment. In this deck, it's so much more peaceful. It's like eventually you're going from the sorrow of what it is that you had to learn about your partner relationship to this, where it's just that you can be peaceful. You can lay down at night and sleep peacefully, knowing that it will work out however it works out. That's the culmination, I think, of what's going to be happening at this full moon for you. Then the sun. There's your liberation. You've realized the wisdom of understanding how to detach from anything that isn't healthy for you, anything that gets you overly stressed out. And then, this is King of Pentacles or King of Earth. This is when you get back to your grounded mastery. You're working through your day, and this deck, it's called the Architect. He knows how to build his life. He can do it every day of the week. And you get back to that groundedness, happiness, feeling fulfilled again. This bodes well for the relationship. So if this is about a relationship, the liberation is about freeing yourself from being attached to the outcomes of things, right? If you're over worried about someone in your life, you really can't change anything. You can just only accept it. So don't carry that load. Just have faith that it'll work out. If it's a romantic relationship, it's going to be happy again. It's moving forward, and you're dedicated to it. That's beautiful. So Cancer, the liberation is to free you from worry, to free you from this, hoarding too much energy inside, allowing it to keep you suppressed, and allowing you to hold on to too much stress. So put it in a little box, a little box, right? And put it somewhere on the back burner and let it be for now. The full moon's going to take care of this, and it's going to work itself out. All right? If you're interested in your moon, rising, or Venus sign reading, you can click that little eye up in the corner for the information box for your weekly readings playlist, and you can go through as many as you'd like. I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. You take care, and I will see you next week. Thank you.